The very hot and sexy Leonardo DiCaprio was a part of the Quentin Tarantino film. Even though he played a bad guy, he still grabbed his role really, really well. Let's see what Leo had to say.
I've been a fan of Quentin's work for a long time, and I love the fact that he was, sort of recreating his own history in a deeply American, context with this sort of spaghetti western Sergio Leone genre mixed into it, something only Quentin Tarantino can do. And this character, really reminded me of a young sort of Louis XIV that was rotting from the inside, and as he put it, which I like to say, is somebody that really represented the moral decay of the South during that time period. I mean, he was the worst of plantation owners, and it was too well written to pass up, and I'd always wanted to work with Jamie Foxx and, of course, the great Christoph Waltz and Sam Jackson. There was too many great elements to this movie to ever look away. It's a fantasy film in a lot of different respects. I mean, just like Inglourious Bastard was, he's sort of recreating history, but there's nothing in the film that isn't historically accurate as far as what these people were like during that time period. He's an amazing actor, first off, and he's such a powerful force when it comes on set. I mean, you read your dialogue and you think about the scene in a very specific way, and then this tornado just comes in that is Sam Jackson, and you need to step up to the plate and and try to bring yourself up to that energy, because he just takes over, and it's amazing. I mean, what he did with this role is astounding. I think what's so different about this movie is the fact that we have, Jamie Foxx as this man that has been enslaved his entire life, but is becoming self-empowered and freeing himself, and we've never seen anything like that cinematically ever. It's always been a much different dynamic, and of course, we show the atrocities of that time period and the way, these slaves were treated, but to see the self-empowered hero take matters into his own hands, it's of course recreating history in a lot of ways, but like I said before, none of this wasn't historically accurate. And everything in this movie, things like this did happen, but only we get to see it through Quentin Tarantino's eyes.
As big of a star as Leo is, and as wonderful a leading man as he is, and leading men don't grow on trees. It's kind of a big deal to be a good leading man. He's also a terrific character actor, and so he doesn't know. I don't think he ever thinks in terms of I'm playing the good guy, I'm playing the bad guy. I kind of made it a point not to. We even joked about it every once in a while. I kind of made it a point never to use the V word with him, which is villain, because I never wanted him to think about himself that way. He couldn't help but realize that the guy was a repellent gargoyle. All right, true that. But at the same time, I never wanted him to think that he had this, he had a function as far as the plot was concerned to be this heavy, this villain. I wanted him to let us get a sense of who Calvin Candie is.
Only somebody like Quentin Tarantino can do. I mean, he's really got a... If anyone tried to duplicate what he does, I think they would be sued for copyright infringement, because he's got his own unique, specific style. And when you see a Quentin Tarantino movie, you know you're going to be incredibly entertained, and there's going to be things and elements, not only character-wise and story-wise, but music-wise, that are just going to be completely shocking and take a second to adjust to. But like in this film, bringing hip-hop into a pre-Civil War period piece is so audacious, but it works. It's amazing. To work alongside some of these people is amazing. And what was really great about the ensemble that we had was everyone was so incredibly supportive of one another. I mean, I remember some of the earlier read-throughs that we had, when we all sat down at a table with Jamie and Kerry and Christoph and Sam and myself, and we were talking about our characters and the different aspects of them and the way these relationships would connect. And, to hear Sam Jackson and Jamie Foxx say, look, I know this is a troubling character. I know it might be difficult to do, but if you don't go the distance with this guy and make him as despicable as possible, people aren't going to embrace that as the truth. They're going to think we're sugarcoating the subject matter. So in essence, the further you go with him, the more truth you're going to speak.